What is up, amigo, and welcome to Paraíso. I think that's paradise. I think that's right. Good line. This is the current shape, guys, and today I need your help. How far should I take it? All right, I'm gonna show you the full physique update later, but I'm struggling with this. Like, how lean should I get? Am I maybe already there, or am I almost there? That's what we're getting into today. I'm just going for a morning walk right now. I do this very early in the mornings because it's getting warm out here. All right, so if you are out here as well, or you're in the Netherlands now where there's a heat wave as well, make sure to get your walk, your steps in the morning, because otherwise, like, I'm not even hitting 10,000 steps here a day. Obviously, I'm also running next to all this, so it's all right, but it's just too damn warm to take so many steps, right? So I try to get the majority in the mornings. I'm gonna do some work now and then have my first meal. And honestly, most days I train fasted lately. That's just because I prefer training in the morning now, but today it's a little bit later, so then I do have breakfast. As long as I'm training like at 11 or 12, I'll probably eat a meal before, and if it's, you know, at 9 or something, I will do it fasted. So not tracking my macros at the moment, but in some sort of way I am, because I just kind of like have these portion sizes. For example, I do the oats with this scoop. I know Lenny is gonna have a little more than one scoop. It's gonna be like 40 grams. One scoop is 30 grams. I'll do 2 scoops, so 60 grams, which for me is not a lot. But I like this way where you don't have to weigh everything out, but you still kind of do because you use portion sizes. Here also I have creatine, which I put in this little jar. It just makes things easier to become a habit. I take it together with some L-tyrosine and L-theanine, and these really help with ADHD and focus. And so far, I really like it. Obviously, it could be placebo because I started this like maybe 2 weeks ago. But so far, it's been quite good. So, yeah, just throw some unsweetened almond milk in here. So these go in the microwave for 2 minutes. And then in the meantime, I'll just throw all these in here. I haven't looked at the price, but usually powder is cheaper. And then I just take this like substance in the morning. I do 3 scoops of this L-tyrosine, which comes down to 500 milligrams. And then for the L-theanine, 200 milligrams. Doesn't really taste like anything. So Lenny does half a scoop away, and I'll do a full scoop. Let's make someone happy. Look at that focus. Got something for you.
Oh, thank you.
I just did a diet break last week where I went back to my maintenance calories, which is about 3,200 calories a day. And during the shred, I'm eating like, 2,600 I was at. And so it was a good week, and now I feel like it's more tough to get back into this. But this is a strategy that always works really, really well, especially if you're cutting for long periods of time. If you're in a deficit for, I'd say, over 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks, then you definitely want to plan this in. So let's say you're shredding for 12 weeks. It's a good idea to plan it in on week 6. But definitely if you're doing longer than 8 weeks, always plan one in, right? And now I've realized, like, I think I'm actually almost at my goal. So it would have been better to do this a little bit sooner. But hey, this is where it is. And now, going back to these 60 grams of oats, when I was eating like, 100 grams of oats, and I was eating like cereal, 120 grams, this kind of sucks a little bit. Right, groceries have arrived. Now, this does not include any dinners, all right? Because we have a meal service that we use for that now, which is really nice. So it's just like a bunch of fruit. Kiwi, watermelon, raspberries and blueberries, apples, bananas, nectarines. Actually never used to eat these, but they're super nice. Then we have eggs, rice cakes, whole wheat crackers, oats, of course. For the liquids, we have unsweetened almond milk, skim milk, and Coke Zero. That's pretty much what I drink. High protein yogurt. Then we have some pesto with chicken. I make this for lunch. I prepped that for the whole week. And we also got these, and the macros on this are actually great. This is, frozen fajitas. 30 grams of protein for, this bag. There's loads of veggies in here, and it just tastes like real food. In Spain, honestly, even the frozen stuff is way less processed than in other countries. So this was some wraps, or just by itself when I'm cutting, really good. And this is my favorite snack, really keeps me from my cravings in the evening, so like 10 to 20 grams a day. Now before I hit the gym, let's choose an outfit for the day. Elfly just had a new launch, so I'm gonna show you some of my favorite items. This is the base tank, which is super light material, absolutely love it. Wearing this together with the new Apex Vault shorts. super high quality. And then in the same material, we've got the base tee. Look how good this fitting is. Honestly, it's next level, very breathable and just simplistic. Then we have the Adapt cutoff, which is more of a smooth material, logo there on the side, and you know, cut there on the bottom for those that like it. I actually like that when I'm training so that the shirt doesn't crop up too far. And this is one that you can also really rock outside of the gym. But for this workout, I'm actually gonna wear a different tank, which is in my gym bag right now. It's gonna make the gains really pop. You will see it. But today is the 4th of July, and therefore Alphalete is doing a massive sale, 20% off everything on the website, even these new items they just launched, 20% plus 10% with code Marijn. So it's crazy because they don't do discounts very often, so don't miss it. Link in the description box. Let's hit the gym. So I'm gonna do a voiceover, which I don't think I've done in ages, to take you guys through my new workout routine. I've been following this for the last few weeks, and it's been extremely effective while cutting. So it's a full body routine every other day, which is really different than what I used to do. So first of all, I do the warm up, which just takes about 5 minutes. It's a lot of movements, but it's just 10 reps on each side for all these movements. So it goes pretty quick, 5 minutes, and then you're fully warm. You really need that because you're training full body, so you gotta also do loads of warm-up sets before every exercise. For the big compounds, you know, like at least 3 warm-up sets. Now, normally I start with weighted pull-ups, heavy ones for 4 to 6 reps, but I pulled my lat actually a few weeks ago. Not even while doing it weighted, I was just not warming up properly, and so very important take here again, make sure to warm up because that's why I pulled my lat. So switching it for the lat pull down for now, and then afterwards doing the overhead press. Only going to do 1 working set here, so really doing proper warm-up sets to build up. I haven't done this movement in quite some time, so I'm just getting back into that groove. So I'm only doing 60 kgs, which may not seem like that much, but for me right now it is. And then sticking to low reps here as well. So first, second, and third movement, we're doing 4 to 6 reps. Now the working sets in this program are much lower than what I'm used to. So I'm used to doing, you know, I'd say at least 10 working sets, sometimes up to 15, definitely like during the lean bulk. I guess 12 to 15 sets on, you know, the big muscle groups. And so right now I'm only doing about 7 working sets per muscle group. And I've done this, I've played around with this in the past where I started hybrid training and I started doing more calisthenics. And then, you know, I just had less time for all the bodybuilding stuff. So I just cut some sets here and there, and I noticed that it's actually been extremely effective, specifically while losing fat and maintaining that muscle. Because if you maintain strength in the gym, you also maintain your muscle mass really well. So I've noticed that it's been great, and even doing 7 sets per body part is great, although you have to train pretty close to failure and know what that feels like. So if you're a beginner, it's very often smarter to start maybe with a bit more sets, because you don't really know what failure is like just yet. But I've obviously been lifting for a long time, done all these movements for a long time, so then you know exactly how to train close to failure. So most of these working sets are 1 to 2 reps from failure. Only the first couple exercises, the first 3 are 3 reps away from failure, which is better for building strength, right? So those are actually, it seems quite easy, 3 reps away from failure, but it's not, because you're still working with heavy weights, right? So chest press there. This one is for higher reps at 10 to 12. That warm-up doesn't take as long either. So the warm-up is mainly on the big compounds, that takes a while. And then we do the low to high cable fly here. Really like a lightweight, as you can see. For pretty high reps, we also do 10 to 12 reps on this one. 1 to 2 reps from failure again. And that is also because we're going to be training chest, or we're going to be training our full body again the day after tomorrow. So if you train a failure a lot, you're not going to recover during these full body workouts, in my experience, if you truly train a failure. And so studies also show this, you get the same results training 1 rep away or 2 reps away from failure, right? Now again, you need to kind of feel what that is like. So sometimes you do go to failure in order to feel what that is like, and then write down your weights, and then you know next week how many reps you should do. My goal now is just to maintain reps, that's and weight, that's all I'm doing. So here we do the lateral raises with the wrist cuff, really like that one. And then we have it about hip height, which is really optimal for stimulating that side delt. And we do a lot of exercises in this workout, but everything is either 2 sets or even 1 set. 1 set is only on the overhead press and the machine chest press, right? Then we move on to leg extensions. So for the day is just the Romanian deadlift and the leg extension, right? For when it comes to the legs. And so we do 3 sets here, 8 to 10 reps. As you can see, my quads are getting really, really lean. Love that exercise, leg extension. So that is one I usually do twice a week for sure. Sometimes even 3 times a week. And so I've been playing around with this full body. Sometimes I've been doing this, but what I did notice is like I love training 4 days a week, right? I do running as well, so those are like 2 days, and then 4 days, and I kind of train 6 days. And this has been a bit low in like frequency, right? Amount of times that I train. It's been high in frequency per body part per week in terms of stimulating it every other day or 3 times a week. But it's been a bit, I feel like for my mental health, it's nice to go to the gym a bit more often. So some weeks I've been following this full body, and then some weeks when I want to go more often, I pick the same exercises, but I divide it into push and pull. And so for push, I'll do, like quads, but also chest, shoulders, triceps. And for pull, we do the hamstrings, but also back, rear delts, biceps, right? So that was the full body A workout. I'll put it on the screen so you can screenshot and follow it yourself. Let me know if you guys want to see workout B as well. And if you speak Dutch, I also have a full PDF. You can download it completely free with the routine, but also with explanations of everything. So I'll put a link to that in the description box. So here's the current shape, guys. This is what I'm looking like. And I feel like I look a bit bigger here because I put the camera in the mirror, which is good. It also makes my waist look a bit wider than it is, I guess, if you watch like my last video. But overall, really happy. I'm about like 81.3 kgs. That's what like this morning was a little low weigh-in. So what do you guys think, man? Should I go for like 80 kgs? I feel like I'm almost there, but I feel like that would be a good weight. I think if I drop below 80 kgs, I mean, I've done that in the past. When I did, the Men's Physique show, I was weighing, well, that was really low. It was like 74.5, I guess. But I was weighing, like realistically, I was weighing 76 when I did the whole like losing water, cutting water, and then you lose another 2 kgs in a couple days, right? So I was like 76. So I guess at 80 kgs, I'm like below 10% body fat. I don't think I want to go much lower. So what do you guys think? Should I shoot for 80? Is that a nice goal? Or maybe 79? But I think anything lower than that, it's just, it also will feel like I haven't made any gains in the last, what's it been, like 5 years? What do you guys think? What should I shoot for? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video as well, also the commentary. And then I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. Much love.